everybody. Hi, thank you so much for coming. We're going to go ahead and get started now.
You guys all got quiet because you knew we were ready. You gave us a look.
Yeah.
My name is Megan.
And my name is Leah, and this is Biblio Bites, and we just want to say welcome to everybody on our live feeds as well. And thank you all for coming today. We love that you're here.
We are making a dessert charcuterie board today, so we're excited to show you this. And so we'll get started.
So how many, just kind of so we have an idea, how many was here for either of our charcuterie ones, a regular? So pretty much everybody.
Most people.
Okay, cool. So you guys kind of know the basics, so we'll just touch a little bit on them for anybody who wasn't here before, but we won't bore you with all of the details all over again.
And some of it can be applied to desserts, but other stuff will be different because we talk kind of about meats and cheeses, which we won't really be using today. So, I guess one thing that's important that we can start with is that we talk about having like 3 of everything to start with. So like when on our meat board, we had 3 different cheeses. We had salami and pepperoni and like turkey or prosciutto or something. We picked 3 meats and then 3 types of cheeses.
And 3 breads or dippable things. So we kind of use the same guidelines today. As you'll see us get started, we have 3 fruit bases. We've got 3 dips.
And like 3 crunchy
things.
We try to pay attention to like texture, to shape, to color. So we're kind of applying some of those same principles. So we're looking for like our Ritz crackers are a lighter color, but our brownie bites are a darker color. We have some red. So we have crunchy things, we have soft things, we have like dippable things, and so we'll explain kind of as we go on. But so having a lot of variety in your board is fun to make it really different and for people to try new things.
Yeah. So our theme today is kind of a Valentine's theme. We've got chocolate and strawberry is kind of another theme we've got. So we've kind of got the sweet with the fruit as well.
And we have a couple of boards here at the library, a couple books about boards at the library. This is one we really like called Around the Board. And there's one in here that's a Valentine's Day chocolate board. And we took some inspiration from this, but we're not making it exactly like this. Because this is a fondue board, which is really fun. But we thought it would be a little complicated to show you, so we're going to do kind of a variation of it. But that's a really cute idea that's in this book.
And there's some more. I know that I heard some of you talking about the other one that we have called the Beautiful Boards or something like that. And it has some really good themed ones in it as well. So if you're looking for a book to give you more inspiration or more examples, these 2 that we've got are excellent. So.
And in that book, there's one that's just like all pink. So everything that they put on the board was pink, which is really cute. So that's something you could do for this as well. I have this little deck of cards it's my personal deck of cards, but it's all these different kinds of charcuterie boards, and they have this one on here that's a Valentine's Day one, and it has just mostly red and pink things, and it's a lot of candy actually, but it's really cute, and so we kind of took some inspiration from that. And then this was another one that was kind of a date night board, and they made little hearts out of apple slices, which is really cute. So we thought those were some good ideas to show you guys, but we're kind of being ourselves.
We're taking liberties here.
Yeah, we're doing something like trying to kind of make it our own. So we'll show you how we do that. Should we start by showing them your dip, maybe?
Yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to just kind of start preparing this dip that I do. And this is one, I don't know, I'm sure it's all over the internet, but it's just something my family does. And it's just 1 block of cream cheese and 1 jar of marshmallow fluff. So we're just going to mix it together, and it makes an excellent fruit dip. You can dip anything in it. You can eat it with a spoon if you really like it. But it's just a really good fruit dip. So it's going to kind of add a lot to our thing here.
And I think it would be good with like pretzels. It would be good. Yeah. We have some like cinnamon sugar chips. What was your finger? Yeah, you're right. It would be good with your finger. With bread, we have cinnamon sugar pita chips that we're going to use later. It would be good with that.
Yeah.
So I think just about anything.
We thought it would mix well with everything that we're putting on this board, so we're gonna mix it up. So all you do is just put that in a bowl, and then your jar, and you just mix them up.
And we just have a hand mixer that we're gonna use for this.
Maybe use a spoon, I guess.
I'm also notorious for not being able to open things, so we'll see how
You
this
can do it. I believe in you.
I'm also wearing gloves, so. There you go, Leah.
She got it started for me, right?
There we go. Good
There it
job.
is.
Leah's notorious for being able to open things I can't open, so. I do want to mention we got all of our supplies from the Fry's right down the road. So any of this stuff that you are interested in, you can get there. So it's all very accessible. But what do you call this dip, Leah?
Fruit dip. Yeah.
And so you can also, if there's a dip that your family makes that's like a dessert dip, you can add that. You know, so we just thought this would be really good, and so we decided we wanted to do it. But none of the books told us to do it.
Yeah.
This is your own. Okay.
It is.
Yeah, we're being adventurous. Yeah. Creative, yeah, spontaneous.
Another one my family likes, and one of my family members found it on Pinterest, and it's just like a cookie dough dip. And recently I went to like I had a game night, and everybody brought a different kind of board. So it was kind of fun because everybody had a unique idea, and everybody kind of just brought whatever they felt like. And so somebody put that cookie dough dip on theirs, and that was a lot of fun. So that's easily something you could add to a dessert board.
And it was like cream cheese and chocolate chips.
I don't really remember, honestly.
okay.
I didn't make that one, so I'm not sure.
I
But
feel like
I think it was
it
something.
would be something similar.
Yeah, it had chocolate
Sweetened
chips in
cream
it,
cheese,
definitely.
Chocolate chips.
Yeah.
So we'll blend this real quick. It'll be a little loud. Don't worry.
Did I just throw my spoon away? Is that what you just said? I just threw our spoon away.
You threw our
Oh, no, no, no.
No, you didn't. You're using it.
Oh, no, I have it in my hand. You threw. Oh, the jar. Oh, you would have licked it? I just said, I knew I did something funny. Okay. Do you want to, before I throw that away?
Yeah.
All right. So then you just mix this up.
Whoa.
Ah! I might need that spoon, actually.
Okay.
Alrighty. There we go.
It's a thick dip. So. And we're gonna put marshmallows on our board too. So we have two kind of fluffy, creamy flavors there, which will be yummy. You can dip the marshmallow in the marshmallow dip if you want.
Yeah.
There's
If you want to
no-
get crazy.
Yeah.
Ah!
And then we're gonna do something also that's kind of fun that we got an idea from using some of our cards. They have an idea on this one that's more of a Christmas board, but with their brie, they cut it out to have a little Christmas tree shape. If you want, I can pass it around. And they put jelly in the cutout. And so we're gonna try doing today. So we have some brie, and I don't know if I should wait for your gun. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm
No,
gonna
I don't want to
just.
bug you. What do you think?
I think it's good. I'm just trying to get as much of that off of it as I can. Okay.
Okay. So we have brie, and it recommends you put it in the freezer for about 10 minutes so that it will be really like stable. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut out the shape. And they actually have this heart-shaped brie
Yeah.
at Fry's, and it was on sale when we went today.
So if you go right now, you might still find some.
Yeah, so it's very cute. So we're gonna use that. And then
Yeah,
you want one of
I
these?
do. Thank you.
We use like little bowls for all of the dips we put on our boards. And so I just have these little ones. They're kind of like ramekins. And so we're just going to use those for today. But you can use any small bowls that you have. I've seen some good ones like even just at the dollar store or like at a kitchen store, like World Market. They have lots of little bowls and stuff like that. And the best way to start assembling your board is to start with the bigger things first. So that's kind of something we are going to do. So we put our dip, and then we're going to put our brie in the middle, and then our other dip we're going to put here.
Yeah,
Who knows? It doesn't
looks
matter.
great.
You can put stuff wherever you like. And if you don't like where something is, you can just move it. But so it just kind of gives us an idea of where to start. And so I'm going to work on the brie. And they said, I just have a cookie cutter here. They said the best way to do it, you can just use the cookie cutter and go straight into the cheese. But it's pretty thick, and I think they had a different method that I thought would maybe work a little better. So they suggest just cutting off a layer and taking that and cutting it with the cookie cutter and then putting it back on top. So we're going to do that method because I think it will work a little bit better.
Did you think of that yourself?
No, it said it on the card.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I'm not that good.
The cookie cutter's a great idea.
Yeah, and so you can use that for any holiday, like how it had the one for Christmas that was a Christmas tree. You could do it shamrock for.
Yeah. If it comes in a cookie cutter, you can do it. So.
I've seen turkey ones before. You could do a turkey.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Set that over there. Which one? Oh yeah. So this other dip that I put in is just a chocolate hummus. So I heard some of you say you've had it before, but yes, it's very, very good. So basically, it's I think it's just the chickpeas and then cocoa powder to make it chocolate. There's a couple other ingredients, but so it is using the chickpeas, but it just tastes like a chocolate dip. Like you can't tell it. I would not relate it to hummus. What's that?
0 calories?
You know what? That's a great question. 80 calories. But it is so good, and it's great with fruit. It's great with pretzels. It's great with a spoon. Again, I adore this dip. It's so good. And it's a little bit healthier for you than maybe just like a chocolate. We thought about doing kind of a fondue type where we would melt the chocolate down, and you could easily do that with a board like this. It's a great feature to add to it. But it's not real feasible for us, so we thought we like this because it was a little bit easier, a little quicker. So we didn't do a melted chocolate, but we got the chocolate dip still. So.
Is that in the refrigerated section?
So this is actually with the hummus. So if you go in Fry's, you know where like the olives are and the cheeses? It's kind of in that area. There's those two stations kind of in between with meats and stuff. And it's found with the hummus is right there.
Right by the deli.
Yeah, near the deli. Yes.
Well,
Can you
my cheese
get it
is
out?
stuck, but that's okay. 'Cause that's not the part we wanted. Wow.
Uh-oh.
But it does suggest that you can use this part too. This is like a cookie cutter that's closed on the top, and so it's not as easy to get stuff out of it. But if you had a normal cookie cutter, it would probably be a lot easier.
You can put it in the freezer. Maybe.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
There you go.
There we go. So cute. I messed it up a little, but cute. And on the
can-
picture, it does say that if you can get like a bowl and fill it with pomegranate seeds and then put this on top, and it looks really cute. So you can reuse both pieces. And we didn't buy pomegranate seeds this time, but maybe we'll see if we can fit this somewhere. If not, we'll just put it aside. Who knows? We might snack on it.
Yeah.
So.
It might be a good idea to utilize that because I feel like with this, it's going to be so cute. People are not going to want to dip into it, especially right away. So if you're really wanting the brie to be added and eaten, it might be better to have it somewhere.
That is something about these boards is it's really fun to make them beautiful, but you want to make sure and encourage people to eat them.
Yes.
Because the whole point is to eat them, and if it looks really beautiful, sometimes people are apprehensive. So that's okay though. Just make sure and say dig in and have it right there, ready on the counter for people to take. Right when they walk in, they can just start taking food.
Exactly.
And so it turned out pretty good.
Oh no.
And I'm just gonna fill it with some cherry preserves. And I'll work on that.
So we're going to add some Oreos to it. So we got these thin ones. They just happen to have them around. So we were going to use these, and we're just going to kind of do a little outline along this and just make it like a little heart around here. just to add some fun texture to that.
So a lot of the colors we're using for this board are like dark brown because of chocolate, and white with our different dips and cheese, and then kind of more reds because of strawberries. And we're using pink for Valentine's Day, but you can have a color scheme. Like there's some great ones in here that I was looking at that are all green for St. Patrick's Day, and they use just like lots of green veggies and kind of made different shapes with them. So if you want to do a color scheme, you definitely can. And you can fill this with anything you'd like, but we thought the cherry preserves might be good. And brie is a really versatile cheese because it's pretty subtle. It doesn't have like a really strong or like sharp flavor, and so it does work well with desserts. It's really good with like honey or with blackberries. So don't be afraid to use it just because it's a cheese. You can still use it for dessert.
Keep that in mind if you are going to add any kind of cheese. There's a lot of different ones that are more subtle that would work good with desserts. So if you do a cheese like brie or something else, make sure to keep that in mind because you wouldn't want like a real sharp cheddar on there. It just, I mean, some people might for the contrast, but if you're going for sweet, you might not want that. So
another one of my cards talks about making a baked brie, and so they just have one here that has blackberries and like rosemary, and they just bake that in the oven for a little while. I think they also put like almonds, so you can kind of make a little jam and then bake the brie with that on there, and it kind of lets the flavor sink in even more. So we didn't do that for this, but I thought it was a really good idea. So you can make a yummy baked brie too.
And those are always really delicious because it just makes them softer even.
And I like how on here they just put it in a little cast iron, and then they just put that straight on the board. So you can do that. I'm sure that you could also scoop it up and just put it on the board, but I kind of like that they added that.
That's kind of nice. Probably keeps it warm too.
Yeah. So we added our crunchy crackers or our crunchy Oreos cookies, and now
we're gonna also add Ritz crackers because we thought that would be a good mix with the brie and the cheeses and stuff. So just to add some more texture. And these you could easily eat with a little chocolate hummus or something, you know, would be very tasty as well.
And our other crunchy thing we got are these cinnamon sugar pita chips. And we kind of thought about getting those because of our hummus. So hummus and pita chips, you know. So those are kind of some bigger items. So we're going to put those on too. So I'm going to put just a little stack over here by the hummus. And you can be really like organized and meticulous. Like Leah made these into a heart around the cheese, which I love. You can be really meticulous like Leah. So I love it. You know, like there's variety. You can have them a certain way, but you can also just put a little pile of them. So I'm just going to put a pile of these pita chips over here. And we are trying to think about the color contrast. So the dark chocolate, I'm going to put these lighter chips by it, and Leah put the dark cookies around the white cheese, etc.
And we're also going to add some marshmallows. So we have these fun strawberry vanilla marshmallows. So they're pink and red, white. And so because they are lighter, we didn't really want to put them right around the white dip. So we're going to put them over here just for the color contrast of that. So we're going to add some of those on there as well.
And then as far as fruit goes, we got some strawberries and blackberries. We got blackberries because they were on sale. So, you know, you can change it to be whatever you like. We thought raspberries would look really cute. Even blueberries you could put on there. It's really whatever you want, you know. I think strawberries and raspberries are the most obvious thing for Valentine's Day because they are pink and red. But whatever you like, you can put on there. You can put slices of banana. You could put dried fruit too.
Yeah.
We talked about you could put like craisins on there. They have those like freeze-dried strawberries. You could put those on there. So you can really do whatever you want. Wow.
Is there a ratio you look at when you're putting the boards together?
So it's about 3 ounces per person is kind of what you are thinking of. So if you have a large group, that's kind of how I estimate. But I kind of just put a large pile of each thing. But ounce-wise, about 3 ounces per person.
And then with the stuff on the board, is there a ratio for that between what you dip and the, you know, how you're selecting what you're putting on the board?
So we don't really use a real mathematical ratio. We kind of just eyeball it, to be honest. And as long as we have, like, we're like, oh, we want to eat this with this. We want to eat this with this. We kind of do that, but we don't really do like a set. I'm going to have 10 crackers for 6 ounces of dip. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We try to,
match that.
yeah.
And the 3 rule, like we tried to have 3 dips, and we have to try to have 3 like dippers, like that are crunchy, and then 3 dippers that are more soft, things like that. So that's kind of the ratio we work with, I would say. But it also, I make sure and have extras, and I refill as people eat it.
Yeah.
So, and with a board like this, a lot of it isn't refrigerated, so that's awesome. Like, when you have a meat and cheese board, those, you have to be a little more cognizant of leaving them out. But with stuff like this, you can leave it out for a lot of your parties. So, I do refill it.
Yeah.
But.
And also sometimes you just don't know what's going to go faster, So people might like the chocolate hummus way more than this. So you just kind of got to, unless you know your group really well, it's hard to say what's going to go before something else.
Yeah.
So you just kind of got to play it by ear.
For the meat and cheese boards, I always have seen that the meat and cheese goes first. And so that's the thing I splurge on, and I buy less crackers or less veggies or things like that. Everybody likes the meat and cheese. But for a board like this, where it's all desserts, it's kind of hard to tell because they're all like sugary things. I think people would really like the bries, which is a cheese again, and the dips. I think people would really like the dips. But all the other stuff is kind of just meant to dip in it. So I think you could have less of those
Probably.
items.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But this is like the hugest strawberry I've ever seen in my life.
They're so big.
At Fry's, these great strawberries right now. And if they're too big for your board, you can cut them in half. In the book they did
Was it in the
that.
book? Yeah.
They had some cut in half and then some that were just whole. And it was kind of cute because it was a variation.
Yeah, so like you can see down here, some of them are half, some of them are whole. And they did that in everywhere they put the strawberries, which is kind of cute. So.
And they left the greenery on them too. So I'm just going to do that for now. But you can cut them if you would like to.
And then we also have brownie bites. So we just got these in the bakery area at Fry's. And we're just kind of going to stack these on. Maybe over here by the whites.
They're huge. Yeah, I'm like using smaller ones, but they are like very large. You're right. But they look good. They're very red and pretty. We're actually not sponsored by Fry's. I want you to know. If they want to sponsor us, we would.
We'd love it.
Okay.
You could. Okay. You could do more if you want over here. Maybe if we need the space.
And the fun part is you can change it. So
like we always
put
say,
a lot of strawberries.
if you don't like something, just move it. If it's in your way or you want it different. And don't be afraid to stack up. I'm gonna make I'm gonna make a little pyramid here. Don't be afraid to stack up. Unless you're moving it around, it's not a big deal.
And one thing that's good to talk about is if you're transporting these, the best way that I've kind of seen to transport them is you can lay out a bunch of foil and build the board and then kind of put the foil on top. You could also put it on like a baking sheet and cover that with foil, but you can also build it at your party. I've done that before too. If it's not too complicated, you can just bring all the ingredients and build it and get there a little early. And people do enjoy watching you do it. So if you were transporting, you can do that as well.
That's what I ended up doing for the party I just went to. Since everybody had one, we kind of used our first half hour to hour to just kind of assemble all of our boards. And it was kind of fun because everyone was like, oh, wow, you brought that. Like, I thought about that, but couldn't get it. And it was kind of fun. So we kind of just did that all together, everybody in their own space, which was fun. Speaking of, actually, for cheeses, I used this really cool cheese. It was a goat cheese, but it had chocolate chips in it. And it sounds really weird, but it honestly was really good. It was pretty like sweet, and it was a contrast with the goat cheese. It's kind of almost sour, I might say, with the chocolate chips in there. But it was a really cool mix, and it would be great for a dessert board, especially one like this. And when I bought it, I also saw cherry in the goat cheese. I saw blueberry. There's many different flavors. Cherries, I think. Yeah. And so that was really fun just to have on there. And it would be great for a dessert board. So highly
and you could have, like, if you wanted to, we talked about you could have a fun board that was like a hot cocoa board and like have that with your dessert, or a coffee bar and have that with your dessert. So
Yeah.
you can make it a whole board day. You can
Yeah.
add to your whole party.
I had some of these in here.
Yeah. So now we're just kind of filling in. So I'm just adding a couple more strawberries over here. Leah's
Stick
adding some more
marshmallows.
marshmallows. And then it's also really good to have things that can act as filler. So we're going to show you that too.
So we got chocolate covered raisins. These are actually dark chocolate covered. And so we're going to kind of fill in blank spaces with these, and that will help us kind of just fill some holes or fill some space in here kind of.
And you could also use nuts. We've used like pomegranate seeds before.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of good because, you know, it's hard to plan exactly where things are going to go when you're in the middle of it. So if you have something to fill in spaces, it works well. I also have these little mini Hershey's bars, so I'm going to just like break those apart
I can help you
and
start
put a little
breaking those.
pile of those on here as well. But in the book, they even had like a bowl, and they just chopped up chocolate, and so people could like sprinkle a little chocolate on there, and you could do that
Which
with
is
like
fun.
cute sprinkles. You could do that with chocolate chips, just about anything.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
And I've seen, I think in one of the, I think the other one, not this book, but they had one that was like, they had full, like, you know, those sugar cookies that you can buy for any holiday at the stores. They had like those that they put on in one of them. With the frosting, yeah. And those were really good. And they fill space and add color, and they're round, so they're cute. So those are fun too.
And like we said, we also try to think about shape. So we have like round crackers, we have round Oreos, but then we have these kind of more square pita chips and the little cube for the brownie bites. And these are kind of cylinders.
Yeah.
So, you know, we try to think about different shapes as well as the textures and colors and stuff like that.
I want these here, but I feel like it's going to add a lot of dark in this area.
Yeah, this board does have a lot of dark because we have a lot of chocolate.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We don't mind. That's okay.
We like the chocolates.
But
fill them
if
in
you
here.
want, we talked about like how they have sometimes the white chocolate that they'll dye pink.
Yeah.
And it's like strawberry.
That would have been a great.
Yeah,
I
that would
tried
be
to find some, but I didn't see any whenever. But I didn't look very hard, so I'm sure that they were there somewhere.
Or like they have the chocolate covered pretzels that are white. Sometimes they have yogurt covered
Yeah.
ones. So you could do something like that. And we even talked about if we were really fancy and we were making like a just chocolate board, that we could have like dark chocolate, white chocolate, and milk chocolate
Yeah.
like, for like the fondue or something, and that would be really fun to have all of those.
And they
So-
even sell like the melts in different colors, so you could do like the pink ones even or something like that. And that would add some color and still give you lots of dipping, which would be fun.
Yeah.
Add some of these.
And we also like to talk about that it's fun to like get something new that you've never tried before and put it on your board. It's a really good chance for you to try something new because you can just take one bite and that's all the commitment you need. So if you feel like
Do you see any?
no, you're
Okay.
doing it good.
Okay.
If you feel like there's something you want to try but you're kind of worried if you're not going to like it or not, then putting it on your board is a good way to try new things. And it's a good way for kids to try new things. This is clearly a board that I think most people would like.
I think so.
Because it's all sugar, but
Unless you can't eat sugar, then you've come to the wrong place.
I'm really sorry. But I think we're getting close to being done here. I want to put more over here.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
You don't need to cover the entire board. Like, the board is pretty, and if you want to see the board, that's okay. But I like to cover a lot of the board.
Yeah.
So,
It's like a complex in our minds. If we don't cover the board, is it really a board?
and we've talked about before, you can use different types of boards. So I like using the wood ones. I think those work really well and they look pretty. But you can use ceramic boards. You can use like just a normal cutting
Those plastic
board.
ones, yeah.
You can use just about anything. So don't let that limit you. And you are going to cover it. So it's not the biggest concern what the board
Honestly,
looks like.
I forgot my board at home, and so what I ended up using just this couple weeks ago, I literally had a baking sheet, and I just filled that up. And it honestly worked nice because it has the lip on it, so it just held everything in. And it ended up working out just fine, so that was good. Does anybody have any questions?
Could we get a mirror?
Maybe
That would be great.
we'll tell our boss, and maybe she'll be able to do that. We do have a camera here, actually. Does that get posted to the city website?
City of AJ, in about a day or two, with the overhead cam will be there.
Yeah. So the city web YouTube page, that will be available. So
Plus all the other episodes since October.
yeah, something like that.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
So do you guys kind of draw things out a little bit before you go live?
So
That's a great idea.
that is. So sometimes we do, like as we were prepping, we kind of talked about it. We said, let's put the heart in the middle, and then we'll put the dips on there in our things. We did a little bit, but we don't and honestly, I kind of forgot everything we said. So I was kind of making it up as we went.
Yeah, we like to lay them out before. So yesterday we kind of plotted it. So we put the bowls here, and we knew the cheese was going to be in the middle, and we talked about it, but we didn't draw it out, which you could definitely do if you want to.
If you're looking for everything to fit perfectly and it be real uniform, that's a great way to do it, because then you know exactly what you're going to have. You have a map in your mind, So that is a great way to plan for it.
I find it an outlet for my creativity, so I like to kind of just go for it and see what happens. But you could definitely do that if you want it to look a certain way. If you're following one of the recipes in the book, it has exactly what it looks like on there. And the books are really nice because they talk about the best places to put things and the layout, they label it all so you know exactly oh, that's what that is. It's not just a random picture.
Yeah.
So that is really helpful if you want it to be a specific way to check out one of the books. And they are really great books because they say what things are in season. So you know oh, I should make this board in the fall because this fruit is in season then. And it talks about pairings, this cheese works well with this fruit, stuff like that.
Yeah. You had a question?
How are you going to serve that? I see you've got spoons for the dip, but how are we gonna, I don't want all our fingers.
Yeah. So it depends on your party. If it's your family and they don't mind, just grabbing the finger food, you can do that. You can also get little tongs and grab stuff with that.
Just earlier, we were at the 99-cent store, and they have lots of little appetizer forks and spoons and little things like that. And they do sell little tiny spatulas. You can, or those, what are the tongs? You can get that easily and have that. Or if it's a very specific kind of party, you could have someone designated to serve. So have them have gloves. Have them get how many do you want? That's a little bit more dedication to it. But if you want it to be free serving, you would get little spatulas or something.
Toothpicks are a good option. You can have toothpicks
Yes.
and people can just stab what they want, put on their plate. But yeah, I would say those little serving utensils are probably the best way to do it because you don't, if you are at a certain party, you don't want everybody touching it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's a great question,
Yeah.
Other questions we can answer? Have you guys made charcuterie boards before? Let me know.
You did? Oh,
Okay,
good. Oh, we want to see it for sure. I think somebody else had a question, but we want to see that.
I made
Oh.
a dessert charcuterie after
Yeah.
we were here last year. because
Oh,
I was having
awesome.
people over for birthdays.
Oh.
That's
And stuff,
awesome.
But I couldn't start up.
No, impossible.
What a surprise.
No.
I bought these little cakes from Fry's, little
Oh.
pieces of white cake.
Yeah.
And I used more cake than I did the inventive things you guys have.
Oh, okay.
So,
But
Did everybody eat it?
no, not the cake. They did the fruit and they did the chocolate.
Okay.
But the cakes were, it would have been the perfect size for somebody else.
that's okay. You learned from it, right? So then next time you can do more. I think someone just behind you had a question, but we'll get back to you. Oh, sure.
Really did look nice.
Oh, I bet it did. I bet it did. What was your question?
In progress.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Great question. Go ahead. Well, I can talk about it.
Classes every third Wednesday at 3:00. So next month we're going to do one all about air fryer essentials. So if you don't know how to use your air fryer or you need new ideas, come to that class, and we will be making something. We're making a recipe in the air fryer that you will get a sample for.
Yes, we always
But
give
we'll
samples.
also teach you about the air fryer because they can be a little intimidating sometimes.
Yeah.
So please put that on your calendar. And then, yeah, we do one every month.
Yes,
So.
so it's every third Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Yes.
You're awesome.
Thank you. Thank you
Thanks
so much.
for coming.
We do have samples for everybody. We can't serve you the board here, but we do have samples here. It's basically anything that's not fresh. We can't serve you like the fruits and stuff.
Yeah.
But we have a little snack bag here, so I think there should be enough for everybody.
And please come up and take a look at the
Yes,
board.
and
Feel
take-
free to take pictures.
Take pictures.
And ask us any questions if you have other questions.
And all the ingredients are listed on that bag there. So.